We live in a world that worships money. From the moment we're old enough to understand value, we're told that money is power, money is freedom, money is happiness. Society programs us to believe that if we can just earn more, save more, buy more, then, and only then, we'll finally feel complete. But the truth is that's an illusion, because money by itself has no soul. It's just a mirror. It reflects who you are, but it doesn't change you. If you are insecure, fearful, or empty on the inside, more money only magnifies that emptiness. Think about it. How many people reach their financial goals and still feel lost? How many millionaires and celebrities admit to feeling unfulfilled despite having everything they ever wanted? That's because money can only fill your bank account, not your heart. The illusion of money is that it promises control, but in reality, it often controls you. You start making decisions not from passion or purpose, but from fear. Fear of losing it, fear of not having enough, fear of falling behind. And when fear becomes your driver, no amount of money will ever make you feel secure. Real wealth has never been about having things. It's about being something. It's about knowing your worth beyond your wallet. When you tie your identity to money, you become a slave to something that can disappear in a second. But when you tie your identity to growth, character, and contribution, you become unstoppable. Because no market crash, no loss, no failure can take that away. You realize that your greatest asset is not the number in your account, but the person staring back at you in the mirror. The illusion of money fades the moment you understand that wealth is an internal experience, not an external possession. It's the peace you feel when you're aligned with your purpose. It's the gratitude you carry when you wake up knowing that life itself is the ultimate gift. True wealth begins when you stop chasing and start appreciating. When you stop asking, "How much can I get?" and start asking, "How much can I give?" Because the most dangerous illusion is not that money buys happiness. It's that happiness is something to be bought at all. The real treasure is already within you. Your energy, your creativity, your relationships, your love. These are things money can never purchase but can only magnify when used with wisdom. Once you break that illusion, money stops being the master of your life and becomes a tool to build something meaningful, something lasting. Everything in life is created twice. First in your mind, and then in your reality. Every fortune ever built, every invention, every movement, every dream started with a single thought. That's why wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins with mindset. You can hand two people the same amount of money. One will grow it, the other will lose it. The difference isn't luck, it's psychology. It's how they think, how they feel about abundance, and how they respond to fear, opportunity, and uncertainty. When you live with a scarcity mindset, you see the world through the lens of lack. You say things like, "There's not enough," or "I'll never get ahead." You protect, you hoard, you shrink, and without realizing it, you train your mind to survive instead of to thrive. But when you shift into a mindset of abundance, everything changes. You begin to see possibilities instead of problems. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I grow?" You stop competing for resources and start creating them. That's the power of internal wealth. It expands your world before your circumstances ever do. Wealth is not something you chase. It's something you become. You don't need to wait until you have money to feel rich. You can start right now by practicing gratitude, by focusing on what you already have, by appreciating the opportunities that surround you every day. Gratitude rewires your brain for abundance. It tells your nervous system that you are already enough, and from that place, you make better decisions. A grateful mind is not desperate. It's powerful. It attracts what it appreciates. People often say, "I'll be happy when I have more money." But that's backward. You have to be happy first, and the money will come. Because happiness and energy are magnetic, they draw people, ideas, and opportunities to you. The wealthiest individuals in spirit don't wait for external validation. They create value out of thin air because their minds are already abundant. They see wealth as a flow of energy, not a pile of possessions. That's why when they lose money, they rebuild, because their real wealth never left. So ask yourself, What story are you telling yourself about money and success? Do you believe there's never enough, or that life is abundant beyond measure? Your thoughts are your fortune. Every belief you hold either limits your life or expands it. True wealth begins when you take control of your inner world, when you decide to think in terms of growth, contribution, and endless possibility. Because once your mind becomes wealthy, your life has no choice but to follow. Money is one of the most misunderstood forces in human life. For some, it's a symbol of power. For others, it's a source of pain. But in truth, money has no emotion, no morality. It's neutral. It's a tool, nothing more. The meaning it carries depends entirely on the hands that hold it and the heart that directs it. A hammer can build a home or destroy one. The tool is the same. The intention is what matters. And yet most people never learn to master this tool. They let it control their choices, their identity, even their sense of worth. The tragedy is that people spend their lives working for money instead of making money work for them. They trade their time, their energy, and their dreams for a paycheck, believing it's the only path to safety. But real safety doesn't come from what's in your bank account. It comes from your ability to create, adapt, and think. When you depend on money for security, you become its prisoner. When you use money as a servant for your purpose, you become free. The difference lies in who's in control, you or the tool. Think about it. Money can feed the hungry, educate a child, or fund a dream, but it can also be used to exploit, manipulate, and destroy. The same dollar can heal or harm, depending on who holds it. That's why character must come before cash flow. If you build wealth without purpose, you'll end up empty. If you build purpose and integrity first, money becomes a multiplier of your impact. The richest life is not the one with the biggest house, but the one that uses its resources to make the greatest difference. Most people chase money because they think it will buy freedom. But freedom isn't something money can give you. It's something you give yourself. Freedom is the ability to live by your own values, to spend your days doing what fulfills you, to give without fear. Money simply amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, it makes you more giving. If you're greedy, it makes you more desperate. That's why mastering money starts with mastering yourself. When your heart is aligned with purpose, money becomes a powerful ally instead of a dangerous master. So never worship money and never fear it. See it for what it is and a tool for creation. Use it to build, to serve, to elevate. Let it flow through you, not control you. Because in the end, the goal is not to die with wealth, but to live with impact. When money serves your mission, it adds meaning to your life. When you serve money, it takes that meaning away. Master the tool and you'll master your freedom.